Knicks family, welcome back to the God of Knicks podcast. I'm your host, Apollo Reed. I'm here with the cousin Rick the Ruler, the
No.
big bro Andre Jalil. How y'all doing, man? How y'all feeling?
Chilling, man. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Can't complain. You know what I'm saying? Knicks is better. So, you know what I'm saying? That's all I really care about. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Big smiles out here. You feel me? You feel me? But so summer league wrapped up. The Knicks, I think they finished what 5-2, something like that. They didn't win the summer league. I guess it's based off points. It's no big deal. Um, big performances from guys like Deuce McBride, of course, we spoke about. I don't think we talked about that last game, but Deuce McBride, what's my man Quentin Grimes, who had they both had great showings as rookies. Jericho Sims, for the games that he was there, he showed us a lot of promise. As a third string kind of backup center. But any other things you guys seen from the summer league that got you excited for the regular season? Either one of y'all?
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say that.
I usually
I,
let you go first. So I mean,
oh yeah, yeah. But
I
I
put Ricky on top of this, so Ricky could, you know what I'm saying? Like,
there
so
you
he
go.
could do
Go
his
ahead, Rick.
thing.
Go ahead, Rick.
Yeah, but he ain't want to take it. Nah, go ahead, Dre. You acting crazy.
guys always go first. So I mean, keep it tradition.
I think that
Tradition.
I like the way it looked like they highlighted quickly and Obi
Mm-hmm.
to spearhead the movement for the young bloods. You know what I mean?
Right,
Because they still young too. So it looked like they gave them the green light. You see
right.
Tibbs talking to him. So I like that they did that. I think that Obi is showing some promise. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of guys want to get rid of. I keep hearing people say get rid of Obi, and I'm like, why do people like want to get rid of Obi? He's got one season and he's behind the star. You know what I mean? So you know
Right,
how it is, get minutes and getting the feel for the game and coming off of minutes and so forth and so on. So I'm excited that I want to see what he does this year based off what I saw from the summer league. I like
right.
what we saw in McBride. McBride was shining from the start.
Mm-hmm.
Relatively, yeah, for the most part, he showed promise from the jump.
Yeah,
And then Grimes, he seemed like he shined towards the end, and it looked like I was like, oh, this is what we drafted him for. He had a sound like he had a conversation with some of his old heads, people in his life who was like, yo, go out there and play your game.
right.
And when you play for New York, number one, it's a big deal. I can see it being a big deal on anybody mentally. So that was a big deal for me to see. And I got a phone call came in and cleared up my whole.
Oh, just
There we go. It just like the whole screen just moved everything over. I'm like,
that's
but
yeah.
yeah, that was Cuzzo. Matter of fact, that was Lamont. Today's his
Okay.
birthday. I called him for a birthday. He's probably
Today
calling
is
me
his
now.
birthday. Yeah,
Yeah,
shout out to the cousin Lamont, man. Happy birthday, Cuzzo. You know
it's
what I'm saying?
Cuzzo's Lamont, and it's the same day as Fat Joe. Apparently, I saw somebody was like, "Happy birthday, Fat Joe," who was
Ah,
at the signing, who was at the
yeah.
who's at the press conference? Which
at
They,
the
is
they,
press
had, they had
conference.
him up there like he was signed too.
Yeah, I
yeah,
thought I thought that was dope because I wish Swiss Beats could have been there, man, and made it a whole Brooklyn, a whole Bronx thing for him.
right.
Bronx thing that would have been
Bronx thing.
one
Yeah, that
part
would
that
be
I
dope.
loved. I don't know if you guys mentioned it, but I was talking to somebody at work and he was telling me, and I saw it. Kemba was they were on the Empire State Building holding up their jerseys,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and homeboy was like, "Welcome to New York," and he was like, "I'm from here."
He said, "I'm
Appreciate it.
from here. I'm from
Yeah,
here.
but he pointed like
Appreciate it.
appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it."
Yo, I'm hyped because when they showed the video behind the scenes of the day, your boy was over there like he was like the vibes, man.
He said, "You
I
know
was
the
like, oh, this
vibes.
dude in
You
New
know the
York.
vibes."
I'm sorry you ain't you
He's
ain't
like,
you ain't trying to jump on that, but he looked like he's so hyped. I'm excited. I'm
Word,
excited. But yeah,
word.
yeah. They look like the young bloods. It's hard to tell. Be hyped to lose. Your boy over there. Yo, mute him, man. Off the rip.
You know who he came here to do. That's all you know
He
how to do.
talking mad
That's how he
shit.
show love. He here loyally. That's it.
Yeah,
What's
yeah,
up?
yeah, yeah.
What's
That's
up,
a he
family?
like he like the boy that got the crush on the girl and he just bothered to keep hitting her and all of that. You know what I mean?
That's crazy. That's
Go
facts.
ahead, Ricky. My bad.
Yeah,
yeah,
Rick, what you feel about the guys from the summer league and basically summer league. Start with that.
yeah. I mean, unlike you, I don't really watch college basketball, so I didn't really know what to expect.
Uh-huh.
But I feel like we got some really good guys, especially since we were like trading picks. like when it was our pick, you know what I mean? And we still got some really good guys that play well together. Like I was very impressed by them. So I mean, sky's the limit. And a funny story, like I was walking from lunch today, and I always got a Knicks cap on, and the security guard for the parking lot, he was just like, "Yo," and I was just like, "What's up?" I thought, I did something wrong. He was just like, "New York, right? Knicks?" I was just like, "Yeah." He was just like, "Yo, were you disappointed last season?" I was like, "Absolutely not." He was just like, "Why?" I was just like, "Because we had a roster full of people that no one expected to go anywhere, and we went to the first round of the playoffs." So I was just like, "Sky's the limit." You know what I mean? And he was just like, "What do you think for next year?" I was just like, "Yo, if we don't make it to the second round, then there's a lot of talent out there that we slept on." So he was just like, "Yo, I like that," and he kept going. Like, but it's amazing, like how many closeted Knicks fans. I mean, Dante, you should know how many closeted Knicks
scared
fans
to
there
be
are.
Knicks fans. They scared. No,
So
like they don't want to get hurt. Like they love Knicks.
yeah,
That's really what's happening. People love the Knicks. They
That's
want to be
really what
fans,
it is.
but they scared to get hurt. They like, oh, they've been bad so long. They scared to have that faith.
Word. Yeah, I mean, and shout out to everybody in the chat, of course. Dante, he's here. And State, what's going on, State? My man, State, always come through with the love. Keep up the work, fellas. He said, closet Nick fans.
He said OD fat closet Knicks fan.
OD fact.
And you're gonna see the baseball caps gonna start coming out. And they're gonna have the little shirts and all of that.
That's really what it is. I mean, I've literally heard people who hated on the Knicks ask who are from New York, and I asked them why, and they say because ever since this happened back in the day. I'm like, all right, so something caused you related to the Knicks and the way they play, or something that happened in the past caused you to feel that way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's you kind of have to hide your fandom after that because you're hurt, and that's how you hide it.
You don't need people to keep rubbing it in.
Right, and you don't. It's a laughing stock. If the Knicks was cool and they won a championship, all of them be right back there. So yeah,
absolutely.
I'm not really worried.
People gonna come out the woodworks because you already see it.
After last season, absolutely, there was already people saying, "Yo, the Knicks is actually a team now."
That's what I'm saying.
For sure.
Let us be up there in the top teams in the playoffs. All the people that's gonna be at the Garden now, forget it. It's gonna be New York is gonna be buzzing.
Yeah. Speaking, guys. Let's all right, so I got a little clip here from the press conference, and it's basically talking about Kemba playing at home. Let's see how he feels about that.
Hey Kemba, you just noted the 10 years playing in the league. Does it feel different to you to be coming home to play here and added pressure even at 10 years in the league?
What was the last part? I'm sorry.
Is there added pressure for you?
Added pressure? Not really. I mean, it does feel different though. Like, this feeling has been like no other. Like, I'm just randomly getting goosebumps. Like, it's an unbelievable feeling to be able to come home. As far as added pressure, I don't think so. As long as I'm in a good environment around great people, I'll be fine.
Here you go. So what you feel about him playing at home and how he felt about that?
Like I said, man, this is his team now. You can say what you want. This is his team. I would imagine the first couple games at home, he's going to have to get used to playing like this. Like playing at the Garden for him, there was not the pressure of him he probably had to perform for his family, all of that kind of stuff he's probably used to. But playing for this organization, but playing for this organization, playing for the Knicks.
Please, no jinxes. No jinxes here, okay?
Yeah, I'm just saying this organization is if I'm like,
disorganization, yeah,
right.
We don't want any disorganization over here.
Yes, but I would imagine it would be a thing to get used to, and to be playing for home and to feel like he wants to win a championship. It may not be possible, it may not happen. He might get close, but that kind of pressure, that's a big deal. He's gonna try to be Superman, but it's his team, so it's a lot.
What about you, Rick?
I heard another interview where they were asking, like, now that you're home, like, are you going to feel like pressure from family showing up to games and stuff like that? And he he was just like, nah, I'm not gonna feel any pressure. Like, it is gonna be a little different to be home, but like I'm gonna play my game. So I feel like he is excited to be here. So I feel like he'll take that excitement and turn it into something positive.
I think so too. I feel like Kemba looks like the kind of guy who's been like looking for this opportunity. I think at some point during the press conference, he had mentioned that he talked to his family about it over and over the years, about just playing for the franchise, playing for the Knicks, and just how exciting it would be. And it's crazy because you don't as much negative media is out there about the Knicks. You don't really think that there's a lot of guys out there who would actually want to play for the Knicks. So it's just odd sometimes when you hear people that actually want to play. I mean, he's from here, so of course you kind of want to expect that. But you hear Evan Fournier, he said he always wanted to play for the Knicks. He said, "You ask anyone around me for a long time, I've wanted to play for the Knicks."
I was surprised by that. What you thought about that?
I mean, to be honest, it didn't surprise me because we've been rumored to be trying to sign him and trade for him for about 2 to 3 years now. You know what I mean? And that doesn't come from, and that's over a couple different regimes. So that means clearly that's coming from his camp. You know what I mean? That's something that he was coming out and looking for a way to get in that franchise. The same way that in the beginning of the year, Austin Rivers last year spoke about the Knicks. You don't really expect people to, feel that way about the organization. It's kind of odd. You know what I mean? But when not that you don't expect it, you just don't hear it because mostly all you hear about is the hate towards the Knicks and what they do and all of that.
I mean, I think a lot of it is political. Like, if you get signed to a team, you're not gonna start coming on and say a whole bunch of negative things about it. So, like, I don't know. I take a lot of that as, with a grain of salt.
Mm-hmm.
Like some people, I believe, like wholeheartedly. When I heard Taj Gibson say that, like, I believed him. Like, he played like it. I believed him. But like Evan, I wasn't watching for Evan, so like I don't know what his history is, like what he was really into, like.
Right.
He did say he been to New York a lot. They asked him, what are you planning on doing? Matter of fact, Knicks Fan TV, he was saying, he said, because he was interviewing him today, and I was watching it, and I caught the part, and he said, what do you plan to do now that you're in New York? He was like, I pretty much did everything. He was like, I've been here to New York a lot, my wife and so forth. So I was like, all right. Yeah. So you've been in New York. It seems to me like, you come to New York, you trying to chill or whatever the case. If you like it here, he probably was like, I like this city. I want to play here one day probably. So I take that out. That's also one of those things. I hear what you're saying, Ricky, but he also didn't have to say that. He could just say, I'm looking forward to play here. It's the mecca of basketball. He could have said all of those lines. Right. But he didn't have to say all of the things about, I always wanted to play here. Like, nobody has to really say that. But when he said that whole thing about him being in New York City, I was like, oh, all right. But you just never know,
Yeah, you don't.
You know. But like you said, like the one thing with Taj, when we won that that only game in the playoffs last year against the Hawks, he was like, yo, it's just this magical feeling. Like he was like he was tearing up. Mm-hmm. He was like, yo, it's just magical.
That sounds familiar. That sounds familiar. Just hold it right there.
Along those trials and tribulations, you become a family, you become real tight-knit. Years ago, every day with Tibbs after practice, he talked about the Knicks, we talked about how great it would be to play there one day. For it to come true, and then I'm playing with Derek, who I've been playing with my whole career, this is some magical stuff right now. I don't know how to explain it. It's just every day I come in, it's just, I don't take anything for granted.
Gibson layup, it's good, and the foul! It is deafening in here. Up and under, back shot. Sweet play from Derrick Rose.
I would love to come back. Who wouldn't want to play for the Knicks or be in New York?
Collins drives. Oh, blocked by Noel. Nerlens Noel with a defensive masterpiece tonight. Pulls up, puts it in. Alec Burks does it again. 27 for the game.
Another year with Coach Tibbs, another year of tutelage, another year of watching film, another year working out all summer. Those guys going to be even better next year.
I told you, boy, he was like, yo, I don't take anything for granted. That boy was tearing up in there. He almost started crying.
I believe it.
Right.
So
I remember that. That was right before the playoffs, that little break that we had in between the games that still needed to be played
Yeah.
For the other teams and then the beginning
Yeah,
of the
because
playoff.
he was when he said that, I was like, yeah, but this is why I like when dudes live in New York, where they come from New York and they play for the squad. Just like Obi, and this is why I want to keep him around. You know, it's probably be easy for him to take it for granted because he was drafted here,
right?
He's playing here, but if he has like some successful years here, and New York stars, like imagine him on a billboard or something, and I think it should be happening. I think Kemba's gonna have some stuff up in the Bronx. Somebody gonna have to do some artwork.
They're gonna go crazy. They're gonna go crazy.
Something, boy. They're gonna have to do something because that's Kemba coming out of here. He was like, I'm from here.
I'm from here. He said, appreciate it. I'm from here. That's when he was on top of the Empire State Building. Yeah. That was
like,
dope.
welcome to New York. He was like, I'm from here.
I'm from here.
He was trying not to be rude when he said that.
Yeah.
When he put the jersey on and he just started like, you could tell like he felt like overwhelmed. Like he
was like, you know the vibes, man.
You know the vibes,
big
man.
Smile. He was like,
yeah,
he's super happy.
Yeah.
But I'm happy to see that. That's why I feel like it's gonna be a big deal.
Exactly.
That's why it's his team. Because all of the cats, who's gonna come in there and be like, nah, Kemba, it's my
like
squad.
I'm the one. Yeah. I mean, a bigger star, of course. But like I said, unless it's not unless Julius, the only two people that will be able to do that is Julius and RJ if they just somehow jump over this mountain. And I don't really see it happening this season. I think right now it's first of all, it's clearly right now the best player on that team is Kemba Walker. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, if we're really going off of recency, then the best player on the team is Julius Randle. So you know what I mean? I don't think it matters whose team it is. I think these guys they're looking forward to bringing something to New York. I think what we showed last year as a team in terms of camaraderie. Theo Pinson was on Twitter earlier. I was like, I miss you, man. Like, already, and the season didn't even start yet. You know what I'm saying?
It's like funny you said that. I was looking at the roster like, yo, they ain't keeping Theo.
Yeah, man, and I didn't care for anybody else. I didn't care for any. I'm like, yo, just keep Theo. Like, as long as Theo's on the squad,
here, man.
you know what I'm saying? You need that bench rocking. So I mean, the bench, they got a lot of work cut out for them. You know what I'm saying? And the energy and the synchronicity or whatever. They was synchronized as hell on that sideline, bro. Every single game.
So speaking of the bench, I was looking at this roster. I'm like, the bench is like the biggest advantage I feel like the Knicks have over most teams.
Mm-hmm.
Like we got a deep squad. Like if you got Derrick Rose quickly, OB coming off the bench, you know what I'm saying, Nerlens, and Burks. I'm like, yo, we got a pretty. For some of these squads out here now, like that could be their starting lineup for some of these cats, and that's what I feel like the advantage.
Absolutely.
Have. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I'm excited to see. I'd be disappointed if the second unit disappointed, but that second unit,
you'd be disappointed second unit,
yeah, because I feel like when you look at a team like the Lakers, right?
Yeah.
Like, all right, we can't outmatch them. They starting lineup, but if somebody got to take a rest, they in trouble. Don't let somebody get hurt at any of those positions. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it ain't Russell on the court, if it ain't LeBron, like, now you got your bench unit out there. I mean, it ain't like they're going to be running out their whole bench unit all at one time.
Yeah, you know, but I also don't feel like with the improvements we made this year, there's a possibility where we're hovering around the top 4 or 5 in the East once again. Mm-hmm. At that point, I'm not worried about any of those top teams. I think it just matters how the game goes. You know what I mean? I think we're one of those teams that teams don't want to play. You know what I mean? Like they're supposed to be better than us, but they might not beat us. You know what I mean? Like a lot of games last year, like the game that we played against the Lakers that we lost, where Anthony Davis was basically limping around the whole time. That was a game where they had to really struggle to beat us. You know what I mean? And that was something that I enjoyed watching because I think it was an overtime victory for them. But and it was just a few plays, 1 or 2 plays that just sealed the deal. But I just felt like I think it's just any given night kind of thing. I don't think that they can just beat us, because of whoever they are at that, whatever team that is. Like, unless you're the Nets, maybe. I don't even really. Yeah, the Nets and the Lakers are the only team I feel like you can go into the game and be like, yeah, they might win that game. You know what I mean? But I don't think there's any team that the Knicks will go against this year that they'll have a chance of, or they'll go into that game not feeling like they can win. Is really what I want to say.
One of the things, what was that I wanted to talk about as far as what I said? You see, they asked him the question. They asked Kemba, "Are you going to rest on the back-to-back?" And I was just like, "Yo, Thibodeau's not that coach. You're gonna be sitting here resting back."
Oh yeah, here we go. I got that clip right here.
He answered.
You talked about your knee and how great it feels. Will there still be?
I can't really hear.
Will there still be a plan for you to play back-to-backs or not play back-to-backs?
You gotta ask them. Ask Tibbs.
He's playing.
I forgot the question. I'm gonna lie. What was the first part of the question?
Evan on the roster.
I mean, I think we're gonna be really good. With my ability to get in the lane, hopefully I can, draw multiple defenders and just get rid of the basketball. Trusting my teammates. I know this guy right here is gonna, light it up for sure. He's gonna shoot the crap out the ball. So then, we got a bunch of young guys, who we just drafted, who are really, really good, who I've been really impressed with, watching Summer League. And, some of the other young guys who's been here, the guys from last season. Me and Evan, we plan on coming here, just bringing some leadership and just adding on to what they already got going.
Yeah, man. So that was the clip of him talking about the back-to-backs and if Tibbs is going to play him during those back-to-backs, and as you heard, he said he's playing. And
he's playing. And he might. Like I said, Kemba don't got to do 31 minutes a game. Right. With Tibbs, he might make him.
I feel okay. So
depending on
there's
the
48. Right. So number one, it depends on the matchup. Number two, it depends on who's playing that game, because there's no way you can say that neither one of those guys, Kemba or Derrick Rose, is going to play 82 games in the season. It's not happening. So there will be games where they're not playing. So if you really look at, there's 48 minutes in a game. Kemba, I'd say a safe amount of minutes for Kemba. I'd say 20, 27, 28 minutes.
I was going to say, if you could give him, I like 27. I like
27 minutes, and then Derrick Rose will have 21. You know what I mean? And that keeps everybody right under that amount, of minutes that they need to play per game. Mm-hmm. That'll keep them healthy. You know what I mean? I think there was a lot of games last year where Kemba, because of injuries to the other guys on the team, had to play 30 plus minutes and on back-to-backs. Actually he didn't play a lot of back-to-backs last year, and I think that had a lot to do with his rhythm, which you probably won't have to deal with that as much, when you have somebody like him here and then have Derrick Rose there. You might not have to play Kemba every single minute, so I think, and if Derrick Rose is on the roster, more than likely Tom Thibodeau is going to give him 20 plus minutes anyway. So
right, but that's if we're breaking it down like as if these young kids ain't going to play any minutes at point guard. But I think the way Thibodeau does it is if one person is lighting it up, they're going to get the minutes. So if it's going to be like a 27 and 21, it might be the other way around where Derrick Rose gets 27 and Kemba gets 20.
Yeah, it just depends on who's
rocking, who's lighting it up. You know what I mean? Because I just saw an article, the cover, and it said that how Derrick Rose is meant to be Tom Thibodeau on the floor.
Right. And
he is kind of like, I guess, for lack of a better term, a teacher's pet to Thibodeau. So, like, they like each other and they trust each other, so he can have him on the floor. But he's coming off the bench. And so, again, like that right there makes it an extreme advantage for our bench to have somebody like Derrick Rose coming off the bench for your squad. But he ain't got to kill himself. And I think here's what I think. This is just like another take on resting players. These cats is getting max contract. These cats is getting a lot of money. So imagine I'm in Memphis, right? And I'm a Knicks fan. And I'm like, oh, let me get these tickets in Memphis, whatever the case. And then, like, say LeBron is coming to town, but they're like, he's playing Memphis. You ain't got to, he's getting a DNP tonight, right? and you at the game like, damn, I bought tickets because I wanted to see LeBron play in my city.
Right.
And this dude is sitting for the game. You could like manage his minutes, but I think the problem with managing their minutes is if you give them 10 minutes a game, now that messes up their stats. And I feel like that's what a lot of these cats is worried about, that if they don't get the minutes, they don't get the stats, and it messes up their stats and so forth and so on. And I just think that's one of the issues. And I don't know if the NBA is with that, but I feel like these cats, if you're gonna have a DNP, that should come out the salary, something like that. But that's me. That's a whole other problem.
It's such a touchy subject with the DNPs because
you see what I'm saying, Ricky? Like if you hurt, is one thing, but if you're like taking a game off,
right. No, like I said,
I agree with you. I just don't think it's.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Enough to happen. Exactly.
I just think that there's got to be a give back, or you sign for less. You getting paid for 82 games in the playoff.
Right.
You getting paid to play these games. So to come in here and talk about back to backs, then tell the NBA don't give them back to back.
You've done past seasons. That's what you get paid for. You don't get paid for what you're going to do. You get paid.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess you could say like if you LeBron, like it's kind of unfair when you have other players above. Well, LeBron not playing 82 games. It's just a whole lot of things. Like I said, one of the things I believe, if you don't want these cats to get hurt and they playing too many games, then make 72 games regular. Make that normal. Make it 70 games. Make it 65 games if you want to protect these guys. And there's no back-to-backs. How many games would you have if there's no back-to-back? Or one or two back-to-backs a season?
I mean, I think it works both ways because you can hurt yourself as a player by taking all those games off.
Yeah.
Right.
Like if you look at last year with the Lakers or the year before with the Lakers, was it last year? The year before with the Lakers, where they missed the playoffs. That was due to the amount of time certain guys took off. Now, were there some games in there where LeBron or AD could have played? I'm sure there was a game or two in there, but then it came down to a game or two and they didn't make the playoffs. So, it goes both ways. It's a double-edged sword. Like, yeah, it hurts the fan for sure. Like, I completely understand there, and especially being a fan who's gone to a game to watch someone play and then them not being there. That's happened to me a couple times. It's just
sucks.
It sucks. It sucks as a fan. It sucks as a fan, and I don't think they're going to penalize them any further because I believe load management to an extent has already been in the league for a while. They just didn't call it load management, and these guys didn't really just take blatant days off like that. I think right now with guys like how Kyrie does it, I just think sometimes it's a little bit. It's kind of messed up. Like, you know what I mean? Where it's just like, I'm not gonna be here for a couple games like that. Come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of different. Like on that level, you get paid to play. You know what I'm saying? Now, if it's different, like you're hurt, you need a game off or something like that, you day to day, cool. But I'm not gonna be here. I got a birthday party to attend to, and you're in the NBA. Like I've never heard of nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's like I said, by calling it load management, you kind of open up a whole other door. I would have rather them just kept it quiet and just did whatever they have to do. Yeah, he's not playing today. I don't know why he's not playing. It sucks that these guys don't play.
He
whatever.
said his toe. He got a little turf toe, so we gave him a couple.
Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? So, it's something that you deal with across all sports, but more than likely you're going to deal with it more in the NBA because these players have a lot more control over their careers than any other sport.
Exactly.
And that's just how it is. Now, the load management conversation, it does tie into who you're going to sign sometimes in the offseason. Like when we were talking about Kawhi Leonard, a lot of people didn't want Kawhi. Why? Because of the load management. And that's because you're a fan and you expect to see a certain player playing and then he's not going to play. And you know that. You're signing up for him not being there.
Yeah, when did this happen? Like, when did load management start? Like, what year did that happen? I feel like none of these players
in the past, like 5 to 6 years.
I give it a Popovich.
I feel like it started with the Spurs, bro.
Yeah, it had to. That's when I first seen it. I don't know if it happened prior to that, but that's who really put it on the map.
Yeah, I feel like Popovich is one of my favorite coaches. He's the hack and shack. He did a bunch of these little strategies, and then it was like sitting people. It was just like, all right, it was looked at as like a Popovich thing, and then everybody was like, well, if Popovich could do this,
right, then I can do it. Yeah,
There was
and he's
no penalties or anything, so why not?
none.
right.
That's what I'm saying. The team should get fined. Word. The team should get fined. Matter of fact, that's
Either
a
a fine or something to where they have to pay out something else. You know what I'm saying? It's something there has to be a give or take there. It can't just be like, oh, he's not playing tonight. All right, cool.
There's always gonna be
That's crazy. I mean,
they'll tell the press something, and sore knee and stuff that you can't like.
They'll figure something out.
Yeah, so they'll figure something out. But
yeah, like, but you're gonna have to. But you got to make it an injury. You got to make it.
Yeah.
You have to work it around that way. Do something like that. But don't be saying he's sitting here and he in clothes, because sometimes, like, I see it all the time. Like, one of the things I don't understand is like they resting KD today, right? Who, by the way, he did the interview with Draymond, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah,
he was talking about.
I didn't see the whole thing.
Huh? You didn't see the whole thing.
I didn't see the whole
talking
thing.
about. Yeah, he was talking about how he would have won if he didn't get hurt in Golden State, and he said he would have won if he didn't get hurt in this year against the Bucks. So that's like one of those things.
I mean,
I don't think he's wrong, but
it's hard to argue.
To see it.
Yeah, right.
You know
Yeah, but unfortunately,
right.
like kind of like
he's wrong.
Harden
but
said
they might have still lost, especially this last one.
Yeah. I mean,
he was killing them, and they still
weren't injured, then I would have.
His people ain't. They didn't help him out. But what I was gonna say about that real quick is, you see some games where the dudes like they're not playing, but it's like 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and they just doing the DNP. Like, you couldn't put them in it just to let's get the W. But then you, like you said, Cap, it's like one of those things about your health, your body, and then like they coming in cold. They ain't played the whole game. Now 4 minutes left, and they trying to win it for the team.
Mm-hmm.
It would be entertaining, and I just think that's what the NBA is really about.
And like I was looking at a post earlier from Bleacher Report and James Harden talking about looking forward to his first title with the Nets, and it says at full strength nobody can beat us. I'm just gonna leave it at that. And I think that was just like the biggest Captain Obvious moment in the world. You know what I'm saying? Because like, of course, if you guys were all healthy, you guys would win the championship. But how much is that going to happen? You know what I'm saying? Like, that is the problem with you guys. That was the main concern before you guys played a game together, was health, and what ended up being the defining factor in how far you guys went in the playoffs.
What I don't like, Cat, because if this is an 82 game season, it's a long season,
right? Mm-hmm.
I just think that it's on the players, it's on the player staff, the people they got, for conditioning. These guys have to figure out how to make this thing last.
Right.
Whether they negotiate in negotiations for these contracts, how many minutes a game, something. Because you got to stay fresh. What you going to do? You going to say, oh, I would have if I was healthy.
Yeah.
What's his name? Knee went backwards. He had a hyperextended knee.
And what did he do?
And came right back.
And won a championship.
What did he talk
about? Say if I didn't get injured, because you know what, he did get injured and he came back. So
he came back. And this is what, and of course, the person that I would compare it to would be Harden with Giannis. And not for nothing, they already like bump heads all the time.
Harden ain't built to be taking no injury and keep playing.
But this is my point. How great are you if you can't play through injury? There was a picture, I remember this picture. I think it was in the cover of Slam or Source or something back in the day, where it was literally a fold out of Allen Iverson and every single injury he had on his body. And he wasn't taking no rest games. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what you get paid to do. You know what I'm saying? You play through injury. When you're a superstar, you get paid to play. That's literally what you do.
Some of these guys are divas now. Some of these
guys,
and I mean,
right.
Sometimes
playing with the flu, and he still did his thing.
Right.
He was like out of his mind.
Right.
Flu, hangover, whatever the hell it was. He played.
And don't get me wrong, man. I know what it is like to, like, I remember I would look at somebody and somebody would at work would be like, yo, my back, this, that, and the third. And I'd be like, this dude right here always his back hurt. Don't nobody back hurt like that until I got a back injury.
Right.
And I was just like, yo, that dude wasn't lying. You be in there
It's,
like,
it's crazy.
oh,
Yeah,
it's
I
like
know.
this little,
Yeah.
you fuck around and sneeze the wrong way, your whole joint. And I thought it was a joke till you get older and the stuff start happening. I was like,
Bro.
all right, he wasn't lying. You know what I mean? Whatever the case. So also there's that.
Mhm.
You don't know how it affects these dudes' feet like twice the size of ours.
Right.
Hands is twice the size of ours. You know what I mean? And they've been playing all their life. So I get that too. But like I said, if you got to figure out how to condition your body, whether that's to your diet, your
Mhm.
workout, a rest day, when you're not playing ball,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes there's 3 days between games in some cases too. So
Right.
sometimes
And
you
then
have 3
sometimes
days off and then
you
you have
can
a back
skip,
to back.
or you can skip a practice. Like,
Yeah,
I'd rather
so
you skip a practice than skip an
then
NBA
skip a
game.
game.
Like, you can attend the game. You don't have to skip the practice and not be at the practice. You can
Right.
be there. You can be on the side, get shots up, still be there for the all of the schemes and everything. You know,
Yeah.
like,
So
be
I
present.
feel like what Thibodeau said, to bring it back to that part right there that you played, Thibodeau said I don't think he was playing.
No.
Oh no, he's not. Absolutely
I don't think
not.
he was
He
playing.
didn't even think about the question. You
He
saw he
said
didn't even
he's
cross
playing.
his arm. He didn't rub his chin. He didn't scratch his head. He was
Yeah.
just like, no,
That's
you
because
He said
that's
like this. He said,
because he's probably right. He's already answered that question thousands of times.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why it was just like he's playing.
Yeah, they
Like,
like,
you know what I mean? Like,
Kemba got arthritis in his knee, right? He was like, shit, he just signed for, 8 million, 9 million a year. He's playing.
he's playing. Oh, he's gonna play. Like,
Arthritis. He had arthritis when he signed that contract.
no, the first thing, first of all, one
They
thing I
gonna
know about Tom Thibodeau, he's not scared of nobody's knee. After what happened to Derrick Rose and seeing what
Yeah,
Derrick Rose can
yeah.
still do,
He was like,
he's
you gonna
like, you'll be fine.
You gonna you
You know what I mean? Like, I swear, he probably will see Kemba hurt himself. He'll be like,
Hit me next year.
you'll be
Hit me
good.
next
You'll be
year.
good. Go ahead. Go back out
They
there.
gonna fix you.
be
Don't
like,
worry
yo,
about it.
I've been doing this type of stretches. Yo, try it, and then everybody's gonna be nice.
Try
Right.
it.
Just try it. He's gonna be like, you're playing. You'll be good. He's like, you see what happened to Derrick? Derrick's
Yeah.
fine. Go
Tore
ahead.
his whole shit up, but look at him. He's back.
He tore those shit up, and look at him. He's got 50 points. He's still out here doing it.
Word.
You know what's crazy? I didn't realize that. I think I mentioned this before. Derrick Rose is younger than Steph Curry. Did you know that?
No way.
It's crazy, ain't it?
Really?
I think he's got him by a year or something like that.
Oh, come on.
But I mean, regardless, you think of Derrick Rose's prime, and you think of Steph Curry's prime. It's damn near like in two different decades.
It's
Right. Well, Derrick Rose popped immediately.
Right.
He was hurt for a long time as well. He
was
came
hurt
back.
for a long time. Well, who? Steph?
Yeah, before he was Steph. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, Steph for his first 2-3 years, he didn't really play much, and then he had to play through.
He had a lot of ankle injuries.
Yeah, he had a lot of ankle injuries and a lot of surgeries and stuff, and reconstructive surgeries, all kind of stuff. Yeah, I think he still even plays with these specialized ankle braces.
Those ankle bracelets, yeah, them joints be looking like the joints you need when you're at home arrest, house arrest. That's what it looked like doing his
the ankle bracelet on.
Yeah, I'd do 10 of those if I could play like Steph. You kidding me?
Yeah, I'll take it. And it's crazy because and this is what just makes me realize that certain people just don't want it as much as other people. His ankles were so bad that he literally had to change how he ran and how he stopped and cut and shifted. Like, he literally had to shift everything. I forgot how the article phrased it, but basically he had to shift all of the pressure from his feet to his hips to just change how he moved on the court in order to continue to be effective. The man basically changed how he moved and then became the Steph Curry Howard. You know what I'm saying? Like, that to me is a sign of somebody who said, like, I'm not gonna let this stop me. And how many times has there been players, countless players along the league that we're saying, like, listen, if you just put in just this much more work, you know what I mean? You don't know how much you can get, but but to bring it back to the Knicks, it seems like we have a lot of those kind of guys on our team, especially the youth. Deuce, Grimes. Grimes excited me a lot because even though Deuce was probably by far my favorite player out of the summer league, Grimes came away to me. He came away as the player who will probably get more consistent minutes. more consistent minutes at that position. Or not, well, at his position. They both play two different positions as point guard and shooting guard. So he'd have to be playing behind Deuce would have to be playing behind Kemba and Rose. And Grimes would really only be playing behind Evan Fournier and Alec Burks, maybe?
Yeah.
And I mean, like, hey, if Grimes plays anything like he played in the summer league on both ends of the floor, I see a realm where he can take Burks' minutes and also make Burks tradable. You know what I mean? And Burks also has a very tradable contract.
You think they I think they gotta give him a year.
I'm not saying in a year. I mean, they Burks is signed to a multi-year deal.
Okay, I was gonna.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
I'm just saying over time.
Yeah, because Burks has I don't know if I don't remember Burks being known for his defense, but he was definitely getting us into some.
He got us some buckets.
Yeah.
The thing about Burks to me is he doesn't play a lot of defense. He's not great at defense. Well, he's not gifted defensively. He plays defense. He's not gifted defensively. And offensively, he's a good shooter, but when he's not on, he's really, really off. And not only that, he's always hurt. You know, he's definitely always hurt. So I think Grimes will get a lot more minutes. And I mean, not for nothing, Rose and Kemba are gonna, miss games as well. So I think they're both gonna find spot minutes here and there. There's gonna be games where
Grimes gonna get minutes.
You know what I'm saying? Grimes and Duke's gonna get minutes. Yeah. Right. Well, that's the thing there. They both are way better defenders than anybody else at that position already on the roster. Deuce is way better defender than Kemba and Rose.
McBride, yes, but I'm thinking Grimes.
Yeah.
What do you think about Grimes' defense?
He's better than Fournier defensively. I mean, he's probably our second best wing defender behind RJ.
I also don't think Fournier is a slouch though on defense. He's just not known for his athleticism on the defensive end.
He's just not over the top.
Right.
Right.
I think he's a serviceable defender. Nothing like that dude play. He gets some steals. He plays the lane. He gets in there, but I think it is yet to be seen. I think if the defensive schemes are better, like if you got a guy who can play good pick and roll, what position is he going to play? Matter of fact, I thought he was coming to play some more forward. Everybody's saying shooting guard, which pushes RJ back Fournier.
Fournier, I mean, it's either 2 or 3. I think, like I said, it depends on the matchup. They're both the same height. RJ's a little bit heavier. I think Fournier's only 205 pounds. I think RJ's.
Fournier looked like he was heavier. Like at the press conference, he looked like he was bigger. But I didn't see him next to. Next to RJ yet. I can't wait to see them all playing together and everything.
Let me see something. I just wanted to see how his stature, RJ Barrett.
Yeah, Rose wasn't supposed to start at all. But how everything played out, we needed him to start. And I think people were asking him to start for games. But they were like, nah, we're going to stick to what we've been doing. And then they were like, all right, we're in the playoffs now. We got to win this. So they put him to start. So now they got Kemba. I don't see why he would need to start unless Kemba's out.
Yeah, for sure. And when it comes, you're responding to this one here. Yeah, I don't think Rose starts at all this season. I think Tom keeps rotating as is and sub McBride for starter or bench. Yeah, for sure. That's exactly what I think he'll do. I think Kemba is definitely starting. He's going to play the majority of the point guard minutes, probably around 28 to 30 minutes. Hopefully, he doesn't even reach that. I just would rather him not. Yeah, Rose is probably not going to play more than 25 minutes a game himself. There's not that many minutes to go around. Let's look at this real quick before we get out of here because we kind of want to wrap it up real quick a little bit. So right here, and by the way,
I like that background. By the way, man, that's nice.
Well, this?
Yeah, you got the
appreciate.
Nice.
This little thing.
Yeah.
It's nice. No, appreciate.
How many you got? You got like 2. You got 3. You got 3, right? How many you got? My brother, the brother I know, the brother I was raised with, he ain't no selfish dude.
Nah, he wouldn't just buy one.
He wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
He
He
wouldn't.
wouldn't just get one. I know he grew locks and all that now. He's changing a little bit, but he wouldn't just get one for himself. I don't know how much it costs, but I know he would be like, "Yo, let me put up the little extra
Yeah,
so that
he
my
would
brother
wait
and my
until he
cousin
had
can have."
enough for 3.
So
And
everybody, right.
yeah.
Josh used to come in there ice cream with enough ice cream for everybody. He wouldn't just walk up in there with ice cream for himself. He always had ice cream for everybody. So I don't know what changed.
That you clearly talking about somebody else.
I'm talking about you. You're the only brother I got. What you talking about?
Ain't me. What ice cream sharing ice cream for
He come in
everybody?
there with cookies for everybody. He never came in the room
You crazy, bro. I'm
without
keeping
shit
all
for
of
it.
them. Keeping all of that for me. That's for me. Matter of fact, I'm trying to end this so I could go get some ice cream and cookies. Let me go do this real quick. So basically, this is what the team gonna look like.
Master, switching the topic up. I love it.
You know what I'm saying? You see, masterful work. So here's the squad we got. Right now, I think there's 16 players. 16 players here. Get this out of my way,
That's
please.
what you need, right? You need 16, and then you lose one or something.
Yeah, you're supposed to have 15 guaranteed players on the roster, and this is something I mentioned earlier because we had signed
Not one small forward.
Amar Sims. We signed to a 10-day contract, Exhibit 10. That's basically for the training camp. Training camp, Exhibit 10, as it says right here. And they also signed Dwayne Bacon to a non-guaranteed contract. So we are still at, technically, when it comes to the money, Luca Valdosa is not signed currently.
I heard he's falling out of the braces.
Well,
you heard what?
Huh?
Say it again.
You said you heard what?
I heard he's falling out of graces with Knicks brass.
Why is that?
I don't know. I didn't read the article. I just saw that was the title.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised about that because
if you see the way the kid's playing, you're looking at him because he played a little bit and he didn't look like him.
He didn't. And this is kind of why when you guys were talking about it when we first signed him, he's this guy that's going to replace Alfred. I was like, nah, I don't see it. And I was happy that we were looking at another guard.
But they signed him before the season was even over.
But as I was saying to you, then it's a 3-year deal, 4-year deal, and only 1 year is guaranteed, which was last season. Which means he is a non-guaranteed $3 million and $3,325 this year. So what that means is it's looking like when it comes down to the 15-man roster, Dwayne Bacon and Luca. Say it again.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Dwayne Bacon and Luca Valdosa will be battling it out for the final roster position as it currently looks, because the guys that are guaranteed here, you got Julius Randle, Evan Fournier, Derrick Rose, Alec Burks, Nerlens Noel, Kemba Walker, RJ Barrett, Kevin Knox. It's just amazing that he's still here. Obi Toppin.
We got so many guards.
So many guards. I'm not gonna complain because we had an issue with that for a long time. Taj Gibson, Emmanuel Quickly, Quentin Grimes, Mitchell Robinson, and Miles McBride. All of those guys are
small ball all season.
And I don't see. Well, will we really? We're always gonna have a big on the floor who's like a rim running big. It's Mitchell Robinson, Nerlens Noel, and if it's not one of those two, it's gonna be my man down here, Jericho Sims, who's on a 2-way contract. And also, by the way, the 2-way players are allowed to stay with the team.
We still paying Joakim Noah?
Bro, you see that, right? You see that? You see this?
Dude, this is outrageous.
Do you see this? Do you see this? Do you see this, Phil Jackson?
Outrageous. So
would you say Phil Jackson?
Still got, yo, is this the last year? How long is that going?
Bro.
Yo, can you imagine paying a bum?
Bro, he hasn't played in like 4 years. All right. This is ridiculous. I can't believe this. Anyway, so yes, that's dead cap.
When he takes that check to the bank. Man.
Oh my god. They just anyway. So we still have cap holds somehow on Jared Harper and Theo Pinson. I don't know about that, but we'll see what happens. But yes, so we're gonna play small ball when it comes from the 1 through 4 position. I would say, however small you can play at that from 1 through 4. Because there will always be a rim running big in there. A defending Jericho Sims doesn't look like the defender that Mitch and Noel are at this point, but we'll see. Maybe he can turn out to be something more serviceable, above average at that level, which he looks like. He grabs rebounds, he looks like he can get blocks, and I think that's above average. There's a lot of guys in the league that don't do that at the center position, and he says he's a power forward, but I wouldn't slot him in necessarily as a power forward. But as I was saying, Luca Valdosa and Dwayne Bacon will have to battle it out for that final roster spot. And it doesn't seem to me like Luca is going to make it. We already talked, like you said, Cuzzo. We got Rose, we got Fournier, we got Burks, we got Kemba, we got RJ, we got Quickly, we got Grimes, we got McBride. I don't know if there's any room for Luca Valdosa. And to be honest with you, he's the only one of those guards that doesn't look like he'll make his spot. You know what I'm saying? Like he doesn't look like the kind of guy that'll take his roster spot. You see what I mean? Like he looks like the kind of guy that'll just like, oh, is there a spot there for me? I'll take it. Like, no, it doesn't look like he'll take the spot. He look like he'll somebody, seeing what happens, But what you guys think about that? You think Valdosa should be that final guy on the roster, or should it be Dwayne Bacon?
I think we should keep both of them and get rid of Knox.
I think that I feel you there. We do have to have a small forward on the team, and he looks like the only one, literally.
No, I was gonna say that. I was kidding, but I was like, he's like the only small forward. Does it even say small? Yeah, he's the only small forward.
He's literally the only small forward. But I mean, Evan and RJ can.
You know what? It's fucked up that we mentioned all these different the guys on the bench behind every, but we never put. He should be the second small forward off the bench.
Who?
No, he's not the second. He should be the first small forward off the bench. Kevin Knox.
I mean,
he should be.
Let's see. Where was my?
We lost Reggie.
Should he be?
Where was my list? The list. This was the list here. Okay. So here we go.
All right.
Kemba Walker, Fournier, RJ, Randall, Mitch, Rose, Quickly, Burks, Toppin, Noel. Is there any room there for him?
That second unit should be, if it was small forward, it should be not.
No, it shouldn't. Not over Burks.
Should be from a standpoint that he's nice like that.
But it should be based off the fact that he's still on this roster.
And he's on this roster and he's a small forward. Like, why didn't they get rid of him? Like, he should be in there somewhere.
I think they've been trying to get rid of him.
They did.
Oh man.
They put his name up in trade conversations.
I don't know. Like where can he crack? Okay, so the crazy thing about Knox
nobody knows what
not
he could
being
do.
here.
He hasn't showed whatever he could do.
Yes, he did.
This is my thing. But this is my thing. The crazy thing about Knox not being on this list is the fact that you still don't see Grimes there. And that, from what I've seen, Grimes looks like he could be the better player out of the two.
Right.
So whatever minutes there are out of whatever is taken up here on the screen, whatever minutes are left, I don't think Knox can get. Like, is he going to outplay Grimes for minutes there? I don't think he's not going to play on both sides of the floor the way Grimes does. I just don't see that.
I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it.
Yeah, I don't want to experiment with that anymore. I mean, I want to see him. I don't want to see him out of the league. I do want to see him. If he goes to the G League, that'll be great because, maybe that'll be something that will work in his favor long term. I know he wanted to play in the summer league this year, but COVID protocol things halted that. So, unfortunately,
he said Burger King is hiring.
Huh?
What'd
you say?
He said Burger King is hiring.
Oh, Burger King is hiring. I don't know, man. Like, and that's Canal Ban Lawyer. Hopefully, if I said that wrong, pardon me, my brother. Don't bother with Knox or Valdosa. Didn't bother with Knox or Valdosa. Bacon won't make it. And the thing about this, though, my man, is that they have to have 15 men on the roster, so one of them have to stay. One of those three have to leave. Actually, yes, one of those three have to leave. Knox looks like he's the only one with a guaranteed contract. So honestly, right now, when it comes to the start of the season, it's looking like Valdosa or Bacon. Bacon, I'm not sure if he's going to stay. I think it just depends on. Let's be honest. At that position, it's not really hard to outplay Knox. So, you know, Valdosa has to outplay at minimum. He has to outplay McBride. So, you know what I'm saying? I see there's a lesser chance of McBride making. I mean, I'm sorry, Valdosa making the team than Dwayne Bacon. But I could be wrong. Hopefully, I mean, either way, neither one of them are going to play a lot of minutes. So that's just that.
That's
So
again, unless they perform,
which I think he's a dog. I think Deuce is a dog. He's going to get those minutes. The way Grimes finished that summer league with some serious playmaking things. There was some things that he was doing off the dribble. There was a play where he drew Jericho Sims out of the paint. He draws him out of the paint, and he denies the screen. He flies in, and then Obi's man commits, and he throws the ball to Obi, and Obi goes up for the dunk. And he started doing more plays like that, and that started to contribute to him being more effective. He was just, while Quickly was there, Grimes, for lack of a better term, he was just regulated to the corner, you know what I mean, or just a spot up shooter. And I think putting the ball in his hands, it allowed him the opportunity to get going, get some offense, get some guys moving. He cuts to the basket, guys cut, he sees them. I think he's gonna get a lot of minutes. He's very intangible. He has a lot of intangibles. He's smart. He plays both ends of the floor. I think it's over for Knox when it comes to those minutes. I think Grimes will outplay both Knox and Bacon for any of those minutes that's left over. And I think eventually, maybe in about a year or two, you might outplay my man Burks. And who knows? Maybe what will happen is after I think it's the moratorium or whatever it is. I think it's in December where you're allowed to trade the people that you signed and traded for in the offseason. If he's traded then, I would see more minutes for Grimes opening up at that point. So, I think there's a lot that can happen positively regardless.
We have a tradable team. It seems like a lot of guys are tradable.
And all of those contracts are set up. I think the only person with a guaranteed all of their years on their contract being guaranteed was Derrick Rose. Yes, that was it. He was the only one. What happened, cuz?
Nah, I was looking at some.
Oh. I just now saw it. I bought Knox plane ticket already. He got coach seats to Vancouver.
He got him coach seats.
Coach seats to Vancouver, bro. Like, what is even out
got
there?
Him in the middle seat too.
Oh man, and he's like 6'10". That's so uncomfortable. Damn, bro. He gonna have to stand up that whole flight. He said it's something else Toon put in the chat. Shout out to the chat, by the way. Let's talk about how Cade's saying he wants to be the best defender to guard him, but McBride is putting up 12 years of slave shackles on him every time. That was crazy. Cade Cunningham clearly has an issue with McBride. Like, not
because he locked him down in college.
Yeah, I mean, it's I don't know why it's so easy for McBride to do it. He just locks him up, and it's like he does it to everyone that's on the court. I've seen him literally lock up an entire offense by himself, just being on the court. And I'm like, bro, I was bugging when Frank was doing this. Like, you know what I'm saying? And Frank was doing it once a week. Like, this guy does it every time he's on the floor. You know what I mean? So I'm excited to see what McBride is going to be. He's one of those guys that looks like he's going to fight for his position, and he's not going to back down to any star or anybody that plays at his position. I mean, look, he's going to be going against Kemba and D Rose. It can't get any better than that. So, but that's all I got. I don't really want to drag us on any further. You guys got anything else you want to add on to it?
The only one thing I wanted to say is I was listening to the podcast. It's a live stream that you were on with Eru with the Die Hard Knicks. Shout out to him.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Die Hard Knicks.
He basically was saying, and he was very, very cold about it, but I feel him. And he was just saying, whatever it takes to win. Like, there's no one player who needs to get minutes if they're not performing.
If they're not making us win, if they're not helping us.
Whatever the coach needs to do to win games, that's what's going to happen. So Kevin Knox can sit on the bench for the entire season. In my opinion, it won't matter if we're winning. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And if we're losing and we put him
As
on
he
the
did last year.
often, like he can ride the bench the rest of the season. Like I
Yep.
honestly don't care. So whatever
Yeah.
the best lineup, the best matchup for that night is, that's what we need to do.
I agree. Dre, how about you?
No, I can dig it. I ain't got nothing to add over that. But I agree. I think that we're starting to build the type of team. We're starting to build the team. I think the team is a nice team. We got a good squad. It's not like I was saying last year. I was like, yo, who would we have if you the other team you scared of? If we actually have a point guard that can break ankles, that's going to scare teams. I just think that's going to change the entire dynamic. The part that was making us angry, or me especially, about Alfred last season is that the dude demands no respect on the court from defenders or anything, and like you could go in there and do whatever against him. You could let him shoot it. You didn't care if he was going to the basket. And so now we have that kind of guy. I just think that there's going to be some exciting stuff going on at the guard. I think people are going to actually come out to the games. Fat Joe, you see him already be out there. I think you're going to see a lot of the celebrities. I'm excited to see that because that's what New York is. That's what New York needs. I'm looking forward to. When is the preseason start? November? October?
I think it's the preseason starts. Damn, I think.
Why you let that out? Fat Joe is just like, yo, don't let us win one series in the playoffs. He's like, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't let us win.
I'm telling you, man.
Training camp starts September 28th. Regular season starts October 19th.
So that means October preseason. They're gonna probably get what they get.
Regular season starts October 19th. Wow, that's pretty early. Well, I mean, it's not. You're right. Yeah, right.
That's like tomorrow.
That's crazy, right? Playoffs start April 16th. June.
That's the regular season then.
Yeah, well, once you get into the playoffs, it starts to even out. I think they're starting a little bit earlier this year than they have in the past. I think they usually start towards the end of October, like around the 27th, 28th, 25th after that. And then they start on, but I mean, they start about a week early. You know, it's not that big of a difference. But training camp starts on the 28th, which is about a month and a half, not even from now. Oh man, season's coming up pretty fast.
I'm excited. I can't wait.
That's what I was saying. I think we won't be waiting long because they're gonna have training camp, all of that. It's gonna be nice.
Yeah. So, that's really all I got. Shout out to the chat. My people in the wonderful chat. I was in here looking up some. Wow. Guys, I think I figured out why Dante came in here with that energy. I gotta do it, Dante. I'm sorry. I gotta do it. You know what I mean? Because Dante came in here very, very aggressive. You know, you know, and the way his people are looking right now. This no. Nah. Who's on the page? Is Cam Newton there? Bro, y'all didn't score a bucket? Y'all couldn't get in the end zone. Anyway.
So wait, that's preseason basketball, football right there?
Preseason football. Bro, it's preseason. You couldn't score? Yeah, they were in the chat. Yo, Dante was in the chat talking about, yo, I'm about to turn this shit off. Listen, man.
So now he's talking about
look. Now it's preseason. Yo, he's muted. Yo, we out of here, y'all. Thank y'all for joining.
His team is the Eagles. We're gonna have fun.
Nah, so is Toon. So I don't wanna do that. I don't wanna do that.
Toon's we doing a podcast. You got that fucking Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, you gotta cut him off for like a month off the podcast. Like, nope.
Look. No, look. Now he mad. Cause he mad now because he gotta hear it. Why y'all do that?
Giants, Dante. Who the fuck you think it is?
Come on, of
New
course.
Yorker, bro.
But you know, Dante don't like no New York teams because he's not a real New Yorker.
Oh my god.
No, he doesn't. He never has. That's weird. That's what he says.
I'm a New Yorker, bro. I'm going for the New York teams. You ain't gotta ask.
Shout out to Peter. Is it Peter? P Ramos. My bad. I said Peter. Wow, my bad. P Ramos. Either way. When's the next time the show comes on? With there not being any games or anything left, I think we'll probably come out a few days. It depends. I'll think of something depending on the news that comes out. We'll be back. Just hit that like and subscribe and hit that bell, and you'll be notified when we, when we go live.
Hit
You know what
that
I'm saying?
bell first and foremost.
It is Peter. It is Peter. Look.
Yeah, you
Peter.
guessed that one really.
I guess that one nice. Come on, man.
That's the only P name you know?
That's the only. Yeah, it's the only P name I know. The P. Yeah. Now my first name starts with a P, but we're not gonna go there. But thank you guys for joining.
Tell him?
My first name is Philip. Okay, guys. Because either you or Dante was gonna say it. I already knew it. So.
I wasn't gonna say it.
It was definitely gonna be Dante. He'd be like Philip. But nobody ever called me Philip. Everybody called me Josh.
Like, let me just say this now before somebody comes in.
Let me jump ahead of this before it gets crazy.
You made it sound like your name is like the worst name is Philip. It ain't like it's some kind of.
I just never went by it. So people, it's weird that people has known me my entire life.
First name.
That's my first name. It's weird. Like I said, people who know me my entire life, they be like, "So your first name is Philip?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm sorry.
You can think about it with anybody when people don't know your real name, like it all sounds like, oh snap, I didn't realize like that was your real name. Like it was Apollo.
Nah, I mean, it's weird now. I even get stuff delivered in Apollo. When I go pick up food, it says Apollo. Hey, there you go. You know the vibes.
You know the vibes.
You know the vibes. Come on, man. Get him out of here.
Smile. Yo, what I love about Kemba is he is all New York.
100%.
The way he talks, he's like, you know the vibes. Come on, man.
Yeah, his whole entire swag from the way he talks.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that on the floor. That's what I want to see. Let's pose with that,
bro. That's gonna be crazy. I love it. Like I said, once again, thank y'all for joining us on the God of Knicks podcast. Oh, and if you are listening, we will now be back on the God of Knicks podcast. It'll actually be a podcast again.
Are you doing it tonight?
This is gonna be it. We're gonna start putting the stuff out there, and we'll be back audio. It won't just be video anymore. Make it easier for you guys to listen to the content that we got. So make it more accessible for my people out there. Right. But once again, if you're in the chat, hit that like. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe, hit that bell. Thank you once again for joining us on the God of Knicks podcast. Till next time, y'all. Y'all have a good one. Peace. And fellas, y'all don't gotta leave. Just wait for me in the locker room. Y'all be leaving before the drink be over and all that. Like that. Dre be jumping out. Come on, man. I gotta say it alive now because you're gonna be gone by the time I did. Anyway, thank y'all for joining us at the God of Knicks podcast, man. Y'all have a good one.